Hi guys, welcome to Hoops Junction. Today we're talking about pressure. Pressure. Now we all know pressure bursts pipes, but also pressure can create a diamond. So pressure in different contexts could do two different things. Who has more pressure in these NBA finals? Is it Kevin Durant? Is it LeBron James? Who has the most pressure? Obviously, we all look at Kevin Durant and Golden State Warriors. They're favored by a large margin. They've blown teams out of the water. They have 4 All-Stars. So if they lose, it will be considered an epic collapse, so to speak. But I look at it as both teams have equal pressure. And this is the reason why I look at it like this. If the Golden State Warriors lose, it's going to be the same narrative as last year. There'll be an excuse of this guy didn't prevail, or this guy didn't keep his head cool, or let's just say Kevin Durant doesn't play well. Kevin Durant hasn't been in the finals in so many years. He did a choke job. Or let's just say Curry doesn't play well. He did a choke job from last year. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be the same type of narrative where Warriors blew it. So we already heard this. So we've been riding the story. You know, they blew a 3-1 lead. There's no more pressure from, and they're not going to face that ridicule again. It's just going to continue. So eventually it's going to die down. Now, let's just say the Cleveland Cavaliers failed to win the NBA title. It's going to be the same narrative for LeBron James. LeBron James is not the greatest of all time. He had Kyrie and Love, and they couldn't deliver for him, or Kevin Love doesn't play well in the finals, yada, 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 or somebody shrunk under pressure. To me, both teams have equal amount of pressure. It's just the perception that we're putting on everything. Just because you have a stacked team doesn't automatically guarantee that you're going to win a title. If you look at the Lakers, I believe it was back in 04 or 05 when they went against the Pistons, the Lakers team was better than the Pistons team. But due to some injuries with Karl Malone and the fact that Lakers there was infighting, they didn't win. So at the end of the day, it's like, you can say, well, this team has a lot more pressure. It's the NBA Finals. Both teams have a lot of pressure. They have a lot to prove. Especially if you look at the Cleveland Cavaliers. They want to prove that their 3-1 comeback wasn't a fluke. And they also want to prove that, with Kevin Love and Kyrie there, maybe back in 2015, the Golden State Warriors don't win their championship. That's what they want to prove with this trilogy. As far as the Golden State Warriors, they want to prove that last year that 3-1 was a fluke. We should have won the title. And this year, we're going to show you that this is what we do. And we're going to win 2 out of the, last following 3 years. So both teams, in my opinion, have equal pressure. All players have equal pressure. Like Stephen Curry cannot come to the NBA Finals and have a horrible finals. And same thing with like Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant can't come to the finals, play timid, and then if they lose, this, that, and third, they're gonna blame him. Same thing with LeBron James. LeBron James can't come to the finals and say, "Oh well, I played really good throughout the whole playoffs. We were sweeping teams, and then he just has let down and he doesn't show up or he doesn't take last shots and stuff like that." He can't do that. Same thing with Kyrie Irving. You know what I'm saying? So both teams have equal amount of pressure, in my opinion. It's just the perception is just because KD's on a stacked team, he should be balling out. Like, this is what we expect of him. LeBron James is LeBron James. He shouldn't have a bad game. Where LeBron James has had bad games in the finals, like multiple times. It's not just one time. It wasn't just against Dallas. When they were down 3-1, LeBron James in Game 4 in Cleveland had like 20-something points. He had like 8 turnovers. He had a bad game. And everybody was asking, what's wrong with LeBron? This is not like the first time we've seen like LeBron James have a bad game. Same thing with Kevin Durant. Even when he went to the finals, he had 30-point games and stuff, but he had like 7 turnovers. So like everybody has a lot on the line to prove. Even Klay Thompson has a lot to prove. The narrative that one team has more pressure or it's all about what one team does. Well, if it's all about what Golden State does, you invalidate Cleveland even being there. You're just saying like, you're already giving Golden State an excuse if, let's just say, they lose. You're saying, well, you lost because so-and-so didn't do their job. Instead of giving Cleveland credit, so-and-so didn't do the job. And then the same thing with Cleveland. Like, let's just say Cleveland loses. You're going to say, well, LeBron James didn't do his job. Or there's some people that are even got the built-in excuse where, oh, LeBron James is facing a stacked team, so he shouldn't have won anyway. Well, that doesn't make any sense because LeBron played a stacked team in San Antonio back in 2014, or no, yeah, was it 2013 or 2014? One of those years, when Ray Allen had a big shot. I believe it was 2014 or 2013. One of those. Ray Allen hits a big shot. Second game overtime, Miami wins. Game 7, Miami wins that game. LeBron wasn't supposed to win that championship. So why are we giving him built-in excuses? Why are we giving Kevin Durant built-in excuses? Or why are we saying they can't, why are we doing this to both teams? Like, why does one team have more pressure? Is it because of a decision one guy made? No, like both teams have a lot on the line, a lot at stake. A lot of reputations could get built or destroyed based on this finals. From LeBron James to Kevin Durant to Stephen Curry to Kyrie Irving, there's a lot riding on these finals. So to say one team has more pressure than the other in the narrative, like when LeBron saying the Golden State Warriors, they're making me nervous. I know he's trying to deflect and trying to put everything on the Warriors because they want them to play with house money. But at the end of the day, if the Warriors come out and punch them in the face, get a 2-0 lead right out the gate, people are going to be like, well, LeBron should have never said these statements or this, that, and the third. Or vice versa. If the Cleveland comes out, they're going to say, well, the Golden State just try to rely on talent, et cetera, et cetera. So there's a lot of pressure on both of these teams. I don't care how many superstars on one team. I don't care about any of that. At the end of the day, there's a lot of pressure, period. Like when Dallas won in it was 2011 or 2012 or whatever, and they beat the Miami Heat, there was just as much pressure on Dallas as there was the Heat. Because if Dallas loses the series or whatever, everybody's going to be like, well, Dirk Nowitzki's trash. You know what I'm saying? He got lucky to get past the Lakers, et cetera, et cetera. Jason Kidd is a bum. Prior to that, Jason never won anything. He went to the finals, but he never won anything. So that could have been an asterisk on his career. He could have ended up how some people say Reggie never won or, Patrick Ewing never won. People could say that about Jason Kidd. It's just the perception of the story, which is very odd. It's just everybody's trying to put all this pressure on Golden State because they're a super team. The Cavs aren't a super team. Oh, well, Golden State has one more superstar, but the Cavs have the best player in the world, right? So there's a lot of pressure for them to win, period. Just on both teams. Just like with Kobe, with Magic, with Larry, with Jordan. It didn't matter who was on the opposing side. If you go up to the finals and you don't perform at the peak level, then they're going to annihilate you. They're going to crucify you. Even if you ball out. Even the year where Cleveland was up 2-1 on Golden State. Golden State won their title. Everybody's like, well, it wasn't LeBron's fault. This, that, and the third. He was playing big games. He had 40-point games. Killing it. Nobody ever saw any kind of crazy output. I look at that finals and say, despite, everybody being out, whatever the case may be, Cleveland had a 2-1 lead. A 2-1 lead. And they were on their home court and they lost that game. Now, let's just say the shoe was on the other foot. Golden State had injuries, but they had a 2-1 lead on LeBron James. What's going to be the narrative then? Would it be they choked, yada, and third? Yeah, that would be the narrative. But with LeBron, we just give him a built-in excuse. It's just so weird how people want to automatically give these guys built-in excuses. I agree with Stephen A. Smith. No excuses on Golden State side. No excuses on Cleveland Cavaliers side. You guys have steamrolled the NBA. You guys have made it where there's no competition besides you two guys. So why do we have to give you an excuse? Why is there more pressure on this guy than that guy? Why are we giving this guy a pass because he's won multiple titles before? Why are we giving this guy a pass because he played hurt or whatever the case? At the end of the day, all of these passes, all this pressure, all this narrative, it has to change. It has to change because it's just first we wanted to see a super team. We wanted to see a three-peat. But then Kevin Durant comes into the mix. Nah, we don't want to see it. We don't want that. We don't want that. But then it's we want to see LeBron and KD go against each other. It's what do you want? The public doesn't know what it wants. The media doesn't know what it wants to portray with these finals because it's just one of those things. It's an enigma. We haven't seen it before. We haven't seen a three-peat. Teams meeting for the third time. We haven't seen a trilogy of NBA finals. And it's just how do you depict this? How do you describe this? What are your feelings about this? Is it bittersweet? If one team win, like Steven Jackson was on the Herd, he was like, I want to see KD win. I want to see Matt Barnes win, but I'm cool with JR. It's just like, which one is it? Like, just pick something and be done with it. And that's the issue here. That's the problem. And the big problem is the narratives, what we're putting. It's like we're not looking at these like two teams and saying, it's this team against this team. We're saying it's KD's legacy against LeBron's legacy. It's Stephen Curry's shooting and his game against what really works, which is hard, grit-nosed defense and shooting regular jump shots. We're saying it's Kyrie Irving and his handles against Stephen Curry's handles. We're saying it's Klay Thompson shooting versus J.R. Smith shooting. We're making it to be everything but about one team against another. And that's what's kind of like giving me a hint of disappointment about this finals. I feel like the way that the media is trumping this up to make this like such a huge finals, and this person has more pressure, this person has more pressure, I think we're not gonna see all these tension-filled things that are being portrayed in the media. I think we're gonna see basketball. That's what I think we're gonna see. It's like when you think about this too, like you'll be like, they'll say, well, LeBron has a lot of pressure because he has to prove himself again. He has 3 titles. He's one of the greatest players to ever play the game. Is he the GOAT? No. Why? Because the GOAT never lost the finals. LeBron has lost 4. You're looking at a guy like Kevin Durant. They say he has a lot to prove because he went to the Golden State Warriors and now he better ball out. Well, has he not been balling out? No. He's been balling out. Has he been to the finals before? Yes. Has he lost? Yes. Was he balling out in that finals? Yes. It's just very odd, like how, they're like, well, the sort of supporting cast, they better come up and show up to play. Like LeBron, Kyrie, and Love. Has Love been balling? Yes. So it's like, where is this narrative? Like, where is all these like issues and problems coming up? Same thing with the Golden State Warriors. They'll say something where, oh, well, Stephen Curry better come to play. Has he been playing in the finals? Yes. Does he have a knee injury this year? No. So what else? What do you expect? Like what? It's like, why are we doing this? Where is the disconnect here? It's just like, where's the evidence of all these so-called issues that you guys have been seeing? You see what I'm saying? It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. You're saying a guy like KD has so much pressure when he has 3 other All-Stars he could rely on. Before, he only had 1 in Russell Westbrook. You're saying the same thing about LeBron James. Like, LeBron James is going to the NBA Finals by himself. Like, Kyrie ain't there to help him close. Like, Love ain't there to get offensive rebounds and shoot threes. Like Tristan Thompson isn't there to shoot threes either. It's just a lot of hype, which it takes away from the basketball aspect to me. Like, I like to watch great basketball. Like, I felt with the Spurs finals against the Heat, we got to see like a ton of great basketball. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that Dallas series, that was a ton of great basketball. Even Lakers and Celtics, we got to see like hard-nosed basketball. It's like, for some reason, with the Warriors and Cavs, the basketball aspect just completely gets taken away, and all we're talking about is pressure, feelings, parity, who needs to win this more, who's the greatest of all time. We're not even talking about the game. Like, nobody is really even talking about the game itself, the X's and O's, the great plays, the defense. Nobody's talking about this for the series, and it's odd. It's just one of the weirdest things I've seen in a very, very, very long time, where basketball talk is not even important. Like, you could talk to your mother about this NBA Finals, or you could talk to your pastor or the mailman, or you could talk to a person that's not even a fan of basketball, because they know the storylines, but they don't know the basketball. They don't know that Golden State Warriors are not only elite offensively, but they're hell of elite defensively. They don't know that LeBron James has been playing one of the most efficient years of his career. They just know that he's nasty. He scores a lot of points. They don't know that Kyrie Irving is money on the right-hand corner 3-point shot. They don't know stuff like that. They don't know that Kevin Love is really good on the right block, but not really good on the left block. Like, it's very odd. And it's just like, people are talking about the finals and they don't really know what they're talking about. They keep talking about all this pressure. At the end of the day, when you're going for something as huge as the finals, as an NBA trophy, there's pressure on all sides. Pressure on the coaching staff. There's pressure on Steve Kerr to even make an appearance. There's pressure on Mike Brown to step in his place. There's pressure on Tyronn Lue to prove that what he did last year wasn't a fluke. It's just, we can say there's pressure everywhere, but all it really comes down to is who can play the best basketball. And whoever can figure that out and cut through this BS about pressure is going to win the NBA championship. That's just the bottom line. So who has most pressure? Everybody has pressure. You have pressure doing your job every day. Let's cut this crap. This is Vlad for Hoops Junction, or Hoops meets Hoopla. Peace.